stay in the region, Chinese authorities have expanded their anti-corruption drive with the expulsion of 9 top military generals, including He Weidong, China's #2 general, and Navy Admiral Miao Hua. The Chinese Defense Ministry has stated that the officials were suspected of serious duty-related and financial crimes. These offenses are said to have extremely serious consequences. Now, most of the officials who were removed held 3-star ranks and were part of the party's central decision-making committee, with He Weidong also serving on the Politburo, which is the Communist Party's top policy-making body. Additionally, reports say that this purge combines anti-corruption efforts with political realignment and comes just days before the Communist Party's 4th plenum in Beijing, where new Central Committee members and military leaders are expected to be appointed. This anti-corruption crackdown follows months of party guidelines aimed at eliminating corrupt influences within the military and follows previous removals of senior officials, including former defense ministers and top officers of the Rocket Force Unit. Moreover, authorities have indicated that the expelled generals will face military persecution and that the move is presented as a major achievement in the party and military's anti-corruption campaign. Chinese authorities have expanded their anti-corruption drive with the expulsion of 9 top military generals, including He Weidong, China's #2 general, and Navy Admiral Miao Hua. The Chinese Defense Ministry has stated that the officials were suspected of serious duty-related and financial crimes. These offenses are said to have extremely serious consequences. Now, most of the officials who were removed held 3-star ranks and were part of the party's central decision-making committee, with He Weidong also serving on the Politburo, which is the Communist Party's top policy-making body. Additionally, reports say that this purge combines anti-corruption efforts with political realignment and comes just days before the Communist Party's 4th plenum in Beijing, where new Central Committee members and military leaders are expected to be appointed. This anti-corruption crackdown follows months of party guidelines. Now, for this discussion, we're joined by Andrew K.P. Long. He's a China strategist, joins us live from Luxor. Thank you very much, Andrew, for joining us today. Good to see you. Andrew, looking at this, China expelling their top military commanders, do you think this, the motive behind, what do you think was the motive behind this shakeup?
Hello, are you asking me?
Yes, Andrew. Here.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
Thank
you. Because the anti-corruption campaign has been going on, as you know, for many, many years. It is President Xi's determination to rid the Communist Party of deep-seated corruption, which has lasted so many decades since its formation. And this corruption has poisoned the party's leadership to lead the country towards a higher level of development. And this corruption is not just in the army, it's in all parties or the party organ. Because after all, it's a one-party rule. But on the other hand, there are many rules and regulations, but these rules and regulations could be manipulated and avoided, by senior officials to further their own nest. So I think the President Xi has determined during his leadership, bear in mind that this is now an extended term, and that is unlikely to remain on the job indefinitely, because he's getting on in his age. So before he goes, eventually, one way or the other, he wants to leave a strong legacy, a strong foundation, turning the whole country into an advanced socialist and also relatively more developed and relatively better off country that would realize the China dream. I mean, that's his a political mandate, and it's rallying the whole country, because if you look at the degree of support of governments for its the peoples for its governments around the world, according to studies of the Harvard Kennedy School and the New York-based Democratic Barometer, the Communist Party has been held in extremely high regard by the people, compared with other political regimes, including democracies around the world. It's top ranked according to these Western think tank research. This is because the party has been leading the country into a higher level of development, sharing the fruits of its prosperity and wealth amongst the people, but also touting, gaining the trust of the government as an impartial organ for the interest of the people, rather than the private nest of party leadership. So I think that this is part of President Xi's campaign, and you can see that especially the Army and the Navy and the Air Force, these are very, very important organs to defend China's military interests. So that's what's happened.
And what do you think this suggests about domestic, maybe internal dynamics within this party, or the difference? And also, I wanted to ask, does China care about being criticized for this move? Some might even consider this move as not very democratic, right? So do you think China cares about this kind of reputation or critic from outside?
Well, I don't think so, because China is extremely, has been gaining greater and greater confidence by comparing China's ideology and political system and the success measured in terms of growing the country's wealth and influence and the welfare of the people. So on these final results, because no matter what kind of political party you have, elections is only a process. You know, the elections and the so-called democracies based on multi-party elections is only a process. So what's the measurement? The measurement must be to what extent the people in that political system have been benefited, have their lives changed for the better, and if so, how much? You know, have the country been proceeding on a greater path of development? Have the country's international influence grow? So all these final results, on the basis of these final results, the Chinese Communist Party has been doing extremely well over the past, a number of decades. And this is because under the presidencies, under the one-party leadership, you can direct the entire country's resources towards these aims. But then, on the other hand, you've got to get rid of the corruption in that one-party system. Indeed, it's not as if it's not a lot of suppression. If you look at China's been opening up gradually. China's issued visa-free access to dozens of Western countries, and then the Chinese people have been roaming around the world. I mean, if they feel so oppressed, I mean, they won't come back to China. But you see, the Chinese are curious. I think that you can find them around all corners of the world. So I think that this Western narrative that somehow China's system is closed, but it misses the entire picture.
Right. Thank you for that insight, Andrew. Thank you very much. That was Andrew K. Long. He's a China strategist, joined us live.